It is Monday, the 2nd of March. So, good morning to everyone. This is our Clark Coffee Huddle, where we try to build community and collaborate and participate together and grow together. I want to start by giving the floor to each of you to maybe share something that you have a need or a want right now. One of the things I really want to do here is try to create deal flow opportunities, and they may not always be there, but you never know where it can come from because with our brokerage, we have the national footprint, so we can reach out to each other. So, Barbara, since you were talking first, why don't you share with us perhaps a need or a want, and we'll go from there.
Well, it's not really a need or want. There are a lot of projects coming up that I will discuss in the near future, but here is something that I've been thinking about. I do work with nonprofits and churches and so forth. Um, we're learning to expand, and I'm bringing that into helping to bring that into the technology side and streamline the work that I do and others. So that's happening that I can talk about down the road. The one thing that I am working on, and Eric, maybe you can help me with this, and other people that I'm going to speak to, is there are things that we do uniquely and that I work with that help for tax benefits, capital gains tax, donations, and so forth that are very unique and not well enough known. So we're going to kind of expand on that knowledge. But one thing that I do hear and have heard is from those like yourself who are very experienced. And I'm going to work in this transition as I close some deals coming up here. But I always get in large groups when we meet with such large experienced advisors like yourself that, well, this is they're going to save on capital gains tax and so forth. And I always go, oh, you better be careful. You really need to be cautious. And so just to give your feedback, and at the same time, I'm working with those who've been doing this for 20 years, and you're always working with attorneys and CPAs, but it also puts a negative connotation on that everybody trusts and listens to your opinion and your voice. So how do I transition? And I'd like to educate so that those comments are more of a, yes, please be using these, but not getting that negativity and shut down before the conversation occurs, for me to be able to share and expand and explain to others. Did I explain that well, or did I make it very confusing?
No, but I tell you what I'm going to do. Dana does a lot of executive coaching. So I'm sure she gets posed with that question often. Dana, if you can opine, it'd be great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of typing something back to somebody, so I have heard the question. So if you don't mind just repeating it, I would appreciate it.
Yes, and basically, I guess, and it might be a one-on-one thing where I talk to experienced advisors instead of in a group environment such as this.
Mhm.
So I'm working in the nonprofit sector, and there are a lot of things that could be done to help with capital gains tax, and
This is
work,
weird.
and working in this area, when I'm in a large group like this, and I explain the deals, and then I have, some, oh, well, you better be careful, you better be sure, like there's a word of caution. So that puts a negative connotation on what I'm trying to explain in the sense that I'm aware of that, and those that I mentor and work with have been doing this for over 20 years. So how can I present it in a way that is, and I think it's going to come back to talking one-on-one with some of the advisors. When I'm in a group like this, I feel that sometimes it just kind of gets shut down, and then their opinion means a lot. So then, my new information is kind of turned into a negative instead of a positive. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for clarifying that. So a lot of times what I'll do is you're making a referral to a specific professional in that sector.
Well, when we share things like right now we're in a group sharing. So if I say I have, a deal going on, we're doing a bargain sale, we are basically, helping with capital gains tax and so forth. And then, some other comments are chimed in like, well, you better be careful. Like I don't know. Don't know if I would do that. Like those types of comments come in, but at the same time, they're not familiar with some of these aspects as well. And their opinions are very well respected.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I feel like maybe I should speak to them privately to explain what this is. So then when we have these conversations, the response, and I appreciate the word of caution, I appreciate all their experience, but how can I better present it to be preventative and then to help say, look, there's more opportunities for these deals out here
Mhm.
for your clients, to work with nonprofits and save in that aspect.
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would do is I would frame it where you work with some trusted resources or a group of people where you're not the one giving the advice, right? So
Correct.
they can't really say like, "Oh, you better be careful what you say," when really you're passing them on to a team of people. So I would look at it as I surround myself with an elite group of people that are specialized in capital gains tax, whatever the
Charitable gift to real estate. Yeah, there's a whole gamut.
yeah, and so I would make it very known that you're very connected to these people that can help in those different sectors, and it's not you giving the advice. So if anybody has any of those concerns, I'd be happy to make a connection for you. So let them know what you provide as a resource, so they're not coming at you where they think you're doing that. And that's I think if somebody's giving you a negative comment, it's usually the way that it's positioned and framed, and they're not clear on what you do. So I think it's just clarifying your affiliation with this particular referral partner. I think I would frame it that way instead, so people know that you're not the one doing that.
I think that's an excellent point too. You refer to your network again, which gives you more credibility. So you're not trying to take ownership that you have all of the answers for all these different parts of the puzzle.
Right.
You
Correct.
refer back to, oh, I have a portfolio, I have a network that I work with, that I'm engaged with. Let's bring that conversation to them. Someone that's on this call that I know that does this a lot and his development is John Calden down in Tampa, Florida. John represents a couple different type of development opportunities, from taking an old hotel and bringing it to affordable living to developing for large C-store developers. So, John, just to kind of follow up on this conversation, how do you bring together those who are outside of your strength, but you bring them together to help you execute the project? You're muted.
Thank you for having this open conversation for transitioning in the sense of getting feedback.
One thing I want to say, Barbara, too, is that when you preface it with the fact that I love building my network with the best of the best in the business. So if you have a particular product or service that I'm not aware of, I would love to connect with you so that I can keep you close for all my referrals, because I love to bring value to everybody on this call, or however you want to frame it, right?
Mhm.
So that people are going to be less apt to kind of attack when they're thinking, oh, maybe this can help my business as well.
Correct. Thank you.
John, you're muted. He's having technical problems. Anybody else want to come onto this? Tom Trung, you came in late, but the question was on the floor from Barbara. As she's approaching more and more people, she's being asked for an expertise that's outside of her class. How does she maintain credibility and continue the conversation? So that's what we were
Well,
discussing.
it's not expertise outside of my class because I do have some expertise in it and I do work with a team. It's just an introduction of, oh, hey, Barb has this deal. I'll explain the deal. And then I get people chiming in with not further information in the sense of, oh, well, you better be careful doing that. And then all of a sudden you can see the whole room is like, oh, they're not hearing anything I'm saying at this point.
Hmm.
So maybe I should rephrase that.
Say that again. Slow down a little bit, Barbara. See if I can understand this. So, what's the room? What room are you talking about?
Hi, Tom. Good to see you.
Hi, Barbara.
This is in rooms as such as our commercial meetings. I'm in with Keith. I'm in here,
So,
and so
so, so
forth.
these are Zoom rooms
Yes, yes,
held by folks like Eric and Keith, etc.
correct, correct.
And
Yep,
then a comment comes up about something. You mentioned something, and then it's white noise. Is that what I'm hearing?
correct, correct. And it's
Let's go through
more.
that. Let's go through that slowly,
Yes,
because it might be breaking it down. You know, but here, go through that one specific scenario again, so
yes.
I can listen to you again, and maybe and we can help you frame the response.
And this is not negativity. This is help me improving on how I
Yeah.
explain it, introduce, and moving forward.
Yep.
So essentially, I have working with nonprofits, churches, and all of that stuff. And I have a very cool deal that's working with grants, bargain sales, and so forth. And there's capital gains tax laws
Yep.
that will benefit the owner. So it's a great package and a good example.
Yep.
So, I was asked to share about it, and I did, and then I had some people kind of give their feedback, like, "Well, you better be careful." I don't know, like as if it wasn't legal or it's
So,
going
so
to
they're
offend.
giving your, they're giving, so after you presented, you were asked to present by whatever, James Huang,
Yep,
let's
yep.
say. All right. And you're presenting and then feedback verbally or feedback through the chat.
Verbally, like, "Hey, anybody have any questions?" And then the questions are like, "Well, I don't
You
know.
better
You
be
might want."
careful.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just give me one second. You better be careful.
yeah,
So if I were presenting and you were the one who said you better be careful, I'd love to hear others' opinion, but I would do it like this. I said, that's an excellent point, Barbara.
yeah.
You know, I've heard that before, that, you know, that might be a major concern. Hey, assuming this is Jim's call. Hey, Jim, if we have time now, I can get into it. It'll probably take another 30 minutes. But I think I don't want to hog up your time, Jim. So, Barbara, how about you and I touch base offline? And I want to hear more about those concerns because you're not the first person who has shared that with me.
Yeah, yeah. And I that's what I was thinking. I think at that point I need to go offline and talk privately. But after that, yeah, go ahead.
So, what did I do there?
You
I
transition.
showed a point of some authority. So I showed some confidence. I acknowledged that your concern is a valid concern. I'm not going to poo-poo your idea, and I want to take a much deeper dive to understand more. So the other 16 people on the Zoom call heard my professional response. I didn't belittle you.
No, never.
I want to learn more. That's how I would handle it.
No.
No, no. And I appreciate that because it seems like after the comment, then it's like no matter what I said, it didn't matter. Everyone kind of like shut down.
Well,
So
did you acknowledge their concern, or did you like
I
go butt
did.
heads with them?
No,
So I
no,
want
no.
to hear. Right.
Yeah, it's never that. And I said, yes, yes. And I said, I understand your concern. And I said, I do work with a team, that has been doing this for over 20
Yeah,
years.
you're getting defensive. That's
Oh,
not the
is
road I
that how
would
you
go.
see that?
You
Thank
went
you.
on the defensive side rather than the discovery side.
Okay, no, thank you. See, this is the feedback that I need because, this is going to continue to be conversation that I've been asked to share and so forth and talk about, and I want to be able to handle it in the manner like what you just explained. So I really appreciate this feedback because, I want to improve.
Let me dive into here too with a thought. Something I love to do, and I'm doing it more all the time. Um, I've established within my chat another project that is just one-on-one with me in the chat, talking about how I navigate and communicate in these type of situations. So I'll grab an email, I'll grab a response, I'll put it in the chat and say, how should I reply here? What's my tone? Am I defensive? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And I can build a conversation of how I really want to reply to the situation. Words are powerful and they can be misleading. And if you're like me, you often use the wrong word. So it's nice to have accountability with ourselves. That's partly why we're here. We're here for community. We're here to grow. We're here to help each other. But I want to encourage you too within your chat to create that project of how you communicate to people. Very powerful tool. Yeah.
Thank you guys. This I don't want to consume the time, but I appreciate all this feedback and always learning. Thank you guys so much.
Well, that's great. That's why we're here. Um, we're here for community. We're here to grow, and each coffee huddle will have a little different flavor to it. I have something intentionally I want to share with each of you today, but we've got some new faces on with us today. Gloria, I know you're new to the group. Ayu, you've been here a few times. Anybody else share something you have a need or a want, or there's a situation, much like Barbara just explained, that you'd like a little bit more clarity how to navigate that as it comes up. Anybody else?
Well, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm new here. I'm newer to real estate in general. We got the invite from you,
We want to see
Eric,
your
and
face, Jesse. Can you share your screen? You can't hide.
Sorry, I thought it was showing. Uh,
There we go.
so I just wanted to hop on here and see what this meeting was about and talk to everybody and introduce myself.
It's great to have you. Where are you at this morning?
Huntsville, Tennessee.
Okay, fantastic. Are you in residential, commercial, business brokerage? What's your focus?
My focus right now is residential, but long term, I think I want to get into commercial, or at
Fantastic.
least on the investment side.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Tom, give everybody a plug about, and I always do, but since you're here, tell us about Agents Get Free, what's there, the resource, and specifically where people can tune in to help them grow their business and to build their revenue share.
Sure. 2-minute commercial here. So this website, Agents Get Free, is built for all of you. It's not, I could have easily named it thetomtrong.com, Tom's a superstar.com, follow the badass tomtrong.com. It's not. It's Agents Get Free to help agents get personally and financially free. And in it, under events, since we're at a commercial talk here, are our standing commercial events, both online and in real life. If you are a leader and you're serving the community and you want to share your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, your in real life events, then reach out to me or reach out to the Let's Chat right here. I have executive assistants who work around the clock for me to support our organization, to put your message in there, attach whatever you want, and they'll vet it. And if it makes sense, then we'll put it on our website and continue to promote you. So, James Huang, our founding commercial president, EXP commercial president, does a call every Friday called Renaissance Zoom. You guys can feel free to jump on that. Chris Mayer, for those who don't know, he's the founder of Contractors, Closings, and Connections. I get the pleasure of spending time with him in real life in Boston this week. This Thursday, Keith Andrews is coming up. We have 2 back-to-back events. We have this CCC event. We're about to be sold out. If you haven't been to a CCC event, check out the website. It is probably the most premier networking for commercial real estate that I've ever been to. Chris doesn't let anyone in the room. He vets the crowd. I have people who wanted to go, and he is not sending them the registration because they are not the who's who of commercial real estate. The following day, we do another commercial connections for our New England commercial agents and our guests who are looking to recruit to EXP. So this website's here. And then that evening, I fly to Iceland. I've got an opportunity to meet with a Remax team to see if they might be the right team to help us open up Iceland. We're not there yet. Daniel Ang runs his commercial calls every Monday. There's Keith, there's Eric's, this call right now, Investing in Lands and Lives. Eric, thank you for your leadership. Cesar Cepeda does this in Spanish. We have the deal exchange. If you got a deal that you want to pitch, I believe it has to be an exclusive deal. You can register your deal here and click to register, blah, blah, blah. And then you fill in the date, you fill in your information. We help you create your 1 or 2 slides and you pitch your deal. Tomorrow every first and third Tuesdays, I do agent attraction for those looking to build revenue share. I do that training call every first and third Tuesday. So it goes on and on and on. Just go to the website. It's a massive resource for all of you. That's just on the events that we do. Okay. For our leaders in the organization, it goes on. I mean, it just goes. All right. So there's something for everybody. Under resources, there's also commercial resources. How to get started with EXP commercial. Do you want the most current PowerPoint presentation for commercial? Frequently asked questions, events and training that commercial, our corporate office does. If someone has a question, hey, I want to join the EXP commercial, but I need to review the independent contractor agreement. Can I take a look at that before I sign? Boom. It's all there. So on and on and on. Okay. That's it. Quick.
That's fantastic. So here's something I want to push toward, and I want to say, first of all, Tom does all of this for everybody here on this call. This is constantly here for us, and he's such a great leader for us to participate with, and he's very supportive. One of the things I like to encourage everyone to do many, many times, when I first came on probably for the first year. I was on Tom's Power Hour pretty regularly. I tried to be there as regularly as I could because I wanted to learn. And you say, well, what is Power Hour? Well, part of what we get to do here is we get to grow and build a team together. And that's what we're doing. That's our revenue share. But in your Power Hour that Tom does, it's just fantastic. It will teach you how to present the opportunity of EXP to other people. I would encourage everybody to sit on at least 5 or 6 of those with Tom. Absolutely, 100%. It can change the direction of your deal flow and your revenue share. It
Yeah,
will.
thank you, Eric. Yeah, I mean, for those who consistently show up, I know are the top 2% of revenue share builders. I can just tell. I look at the screen and I go back. Those who consistently show up, they've got 50 people, 100 people, 300 people in their revenue share organizations. And those who don't show up, they call me, they text me, Tom, I can't figure it out. The first thing that goes to my mind, I don't tell them, is, hey, stupid, you didn't show up at this Power Hour call. I'm sorry, but I just got to call it for what it is.
Yeah.
You got to show up where the power is. You got to show up where the winners are. I've had Leo on the call. I've had Glenn Sanford on the call, Gene Frederick, Rob Flick, Scott Lewis, Tracy Gagnon, Sean Murphy, right? Rock stars here to help we all build. And then when you say, hey, I can't reach out to Sean Murphy, he's not returning my call. Well, does he even know who you are? Are you really plugged in? Food for thought, okay?
Amen. Preach. I love it. I can't encourage you enough. Circle that Power Hour. You've got Tom's contact information here. He's available. He'll text you on WhatsApp. He'll text you personally. He'll take your phone call. He's got this website for you. Plug in. It's
Eric,
there.
Here's my cell phone. The best thing you can do is text me. We all know there's so many communications tools out there. Texting gets to me the fastest. There's my cell phone.
and I want to reaffirm that, Tom is real. Everything he says and does, it will happen. I did an event with him in Philadelphia with Blair, and it was a pleasure to meet you. And he leads by example. We walk by a store, there's a sign. He says, I'm going to call that agent. Like, he doesn't just tell you, he does these things, and it just is amazing. And I'm so glad to get to meet you. And I know you have a activity coming up in Boston, and our DC one got canceled. So I want to ask you, how do we get one in my area again? How do we get that DC thing back up and running?
Yeah, Barbara, thanks for stepping. Yeah, we'll reach out to Jeff Clark. He needs someone on the ground to support him. I couldn't be in DC. I couldn't be in 2 places at the same time. We need leaders to step up, right? None of us get paid for this stuff.
Yeah.
We got to whip out our credit card, whip out our checkbook to secure the space. We build the company, not corporate, right?
Yeah,
And
I did
so-
talk to him, but it was just, I think, too late. He's
Yeah.
already overwhelmed with what's happening there in
Yeah,
Boston. But we'll
so just step
recircle.
up and schedule a future date, right?
Yeah.
I told Jeff I can support him with my executive assistants, to do everything, but I can't be there, and he just couldn't get enough traction.
Yep, we'll
All
figure it out.
right. So I'm going to take us as we close because I like to keep this within 45 minutes. It's Monday. Everyone's busy. Why are we here? We're here because if you're going to cut, copy, and paste and try to duplicate what Tom's doing within your organization, you've got to provide the community. You have to provide the support. People walk away from this industry because they don't feel support. So one of the ways in which I try to encourage you, it won't always be in real estate per se. It might just be in your life because we all have peaks and valleys. This is something that is mentally always in my mind, but I've also put it on a chart. Just something for kicks and giggles. This may be the dumbest thing you've ever seen. It may be the dumbest thing you'll see all week. But you know what? I'm going to share a point with you that I think you'll find powerful. I have listed out the top 11 things that I try to work on every week. The top 11 things. This is my performance dashboard. Faith is one, husband, my father, my health and fitness, my closing schedule, my listings, my revenue share building, my accountability support of my team, social media, speaking events or networking, and investing in myself. Those are my top 11 priorities right now. This is just a sample, okay? This is not maybe real time. This is a sample for you to see. So then what I've done is I created 10 blanks, show percentage. 10 through 100. Are you all seeing this okay? Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is manual, 10 through 100% on each one of these. And I try to be fair with myself and measure it. If it's over 60%, I'll give it a green, a light green. If it's less than 50%, I'm going to give it a yellow. If it dives below 20%, I'm going to give it a red. So in my mind, I have these columns that represent areas of my life. They're columns. And each one of these columns, I can print this out and I can see this. If I take this sample right now, this column samples out that this person right here would be performing less than 60%. If you took the 11 percentages and totaled them up, you function at less than 60% right here. Now, here's something I want you to visually see. We can think this way, but we don't always visually see it. When you put it on a spreadsheet like this, here's what I want you to walk away with today. Two things. One, how do you take that 70% or that 40% or that 50% and within the next month take it up 10%? That's one. And two, here's the pitfall. Most of us don't realize we do it. This was shared with me probably about 15 years ago. And I got to tell you, it has been so powerful in my life. Here it is. Where's the one that jumps out to everybody right now in this sample? Which one?
Social media.
Yeah. And why? Because it's red, right?
Right.
All right. Let's do this. What if here, let's see. Let's see. What if my role as a husband was down to 20%? So here's the question. Do you let that second column then begin to interfere in your first column? Do you let it overtake your health and fitness? Do you let it take away from your listing efforts? What happens when we can't see what we're doing? We don't always realize that one of the columns that is not executing very well right now in my life, it can start draining other columns because we can't compartmentalize it. It's very important to compartmentalize what you're going through. So when you see the visual, you realize this part of my life right now might be a challenge, but is it stealing my effectiveness and my productivity in other columns? And a lot of times it's draining us more than we realize and we don't pay attention to it. So when you can put it visually in front of you, you can identify it and you can see it and you can say, okay, that column right there, it's bad right now, but I can only do so much about it. And what are you going to do about it? What are the steps? And then it is what it is. You can only bring so much to it, but you can't let it start taking away from the other columns that are vital to your life. Comments? Thoughts?
I love that, Eric. I've never seen that before. Thank you for sharing that. I would ask you then, not on this call, but then to take that chart and associate that back to your calendar. So you gave me an idea, and I'm not sure if I'm going to execute it or not, but if I were you, I might want to take that, and I'll share with you what I mean. Okay, color code. I love the color coding. But let's say if you took that chart of your self-evaluation and then you matched it up to what is really happening or has been happening, that's my calendar for for the week. Here's my calendar for the month. So if you see all the greens, well, let's do the week. It's easier. So if I were you, you might try
colors.
your spreadsheet color should match your color on your calendar, and then let's see if you're really honest with yourself. Your spreadsheet versus your actual doings. Because sometimes we do lie to ourselves.
Yeah, we do. And we make excuses for ourselves and we justify why we're where we're at. And without seeing it, we can't visually take the steps. I hear you say all the time, show me your calendar and I'll show you what you're doing. I hear
That's
you say
right.
that all the time.
That's right. Yeah, show me your calendar. All my yellow is my free time with some little stuff here and there, but all my white is my free time. Right. I have you on here. So I'm supposed to be off the call. Then I've got to jump to my real estate investments. I got to oversee some stuff, and then I'm free this afternoon. Then tonight, I've got my blockchain calls. But here's my, the green is my money making activities. The yellow and the white is my free time, my dad time, my friend time, my community service time.
So here's a thought to leave with you today. Um, I wanted to share that with you because, you know, we're all viewed by the phone. We're all viewed by what people see, hear when we show up, but people really don't know what's going on in your life. You do. And have you given yourself a tool to see where you're really measuring out in the top 11 areas of your life? And ask yourself honestly, is there an area or two of those 11 that are stealing your energy and your focus and your productivity, your joy, whatever else from another column? Be fair with yourself. And then have accountability. There's accountability here. I talked to Tom candidly. There's accountability here. I talked to Tommy Bracci candidly. There's accountability here. So take that, be honest with yourself, and then try to move each one of those up each month. And then also know that you can only do your part. You need accountability, you need others to help you perhaps, but you can only do a certain amount and do the right thing. And eventually the right things will happen. You'll see the green increase and the percentages increase if you keep doing the right things. But you can't be fretting over it and stealing from everything else because you're just worried about this, worried about this, worried about this. That's not going to help you. So you want to talk to me further about that? To me, it's a great visual. In my mind, I can see the columns of my life and they're color coded. And years ago, when I was going through a difficult season, being able to grab it in one column and leave it there. Leave it there. I'm going to do my best there, but not be satisfied, not to become complacent with anything else, but to compartmentalize it intentionally to help you take next steps. That's a thought for today. And I guess I need to make this agent's coffee huddle.
Nope.
But
Brand new, man. I love it. All right.
yeah.
Thanks.
Any other thoughts as we wrap up for the day? Nope. All right. Everybody have a great week. Be productive and let's keep in touch.